Hi Pisces, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your November 2021 love reading. Thanks to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is a look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll actually pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Also, keep in mind it's a general reading, so while I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's, if you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the King of Staves, so this is actually in Leo energy here. And for you guys, that's your 6th house, so it could just be saying a couple different things. For some of you, this might be someone that you might have met through work, but I also feel like if we look at the trees in the background there's not really any leaves on them, right? So if you think of Leo energy, at least in the northern hemisphere, that tends to be the peak of summer. So to see this with those trees like that could just be saying that these are feelings you might have held on to for this person for a long time, but you possibly didn't express that you had those feelings for them. And obviously those two could be tied together, right? Maybe it's because you did work together and you didn't want to introduce that dynamic into the workplace, but that's what I'm seeing there. Alright, past energy on their side, we have quite a few cards. We have the Four of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, Knave of Chalices, Eight of Swords, Gemini energy, Three of Swords, Libra energy. So, could just be saying that they might have been really apprehensive around expressing their feelings for you too. I definitely feel like they had some passionate feelings for you. Possibly even struggled when it came to communicating those feelings too, because if we look at the artwork here, he has those crumpled up balls of paper on the floor. It looks like he's crumpling up another one, right? It looks like he's pretty frustrated trying to find those words, and this is Cups energy, so most likely is around romance. The Eight of Swords could just be saying that they still had something from their past that they were getting over, which could have been why they were a little bit apprehensive toward the connection with you. And with the Three of Swords, yeah, that's pretty much the same message. I feel like it's saying that they were probably still recovering from their own heartbreak, and that might have been, holding them back from fully expressing themselves toward you. And I suppose for some of you that it's possible that you knew about that as well, and that could have been another reason why you might have been holding back, realizing that, okay, this person's not ready yet, right? They're in another, healing from another connection, rather, so you might have just stayed back for a bit. Present energy on your side, we have the Prince of Cups. So this is actually the equivalent of the Knight of Cups, which is Pisces energy. So this could, at the very least, say that you guys are feeling a lot more comfortable with yourselves now. And because of that, you might be more open to expressing yourselves too. But yeah, this usually does represent that energy of coming forward with some type of romantic offer, at the very least expressing feelings. So like I said, definitely looks like you're at the very least more comfortable and open with expressing yourselves at this time. Alright, and present energy on their side, we have the Three of Chalices, Cancer energy, and Queen of Swords, Libra energy. So, at the very least, this could just be saying that the sexual energy between the two of you might be pretty intense. Cancer energy for you guys is your 5th house, and then Libra energy is your 8th house. But to me, this also says that they're definitely in a much more open mood than they have been in the past. And with that Queen of Swords, Libra energy, could just be saying that they have relationships on the brain now, whereas before it seemed like they were definitely not looking at them in a positive light because they were still healing from the situation. Now, I will say with the artwork here, though, she does have her back turned. So it could just be saying that they are actually looking for you to take the lead, but that's what I see there. Alright, and future energy on your side, we have Illusion. So, this is actually the equivalent of the moon in traditional tarot. So on the one hand, this could just be saying to keep an eye out on the lunar cycles coming up this month. We're going to have a full moon in Scorpio, a new moon in Scorpio, and that's going to be opposite Uranus in your house of communication, which is Taurus, and then we're going to have a full moon in your house of communication, Taurus, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Because on the one hand, it could just be saying that if you are having difficulty with seeing the situation clearly, those two lunar cycles might really help bring some things to light for you. Um, but yeah, it could just be saying that there could be a little bit of confusion around how you're feeling with the connection. Because maybe for some of you, you do express yourself, right? And even though on the one hand they do have those passionate feelings with that Queen of Swords energy, they could still be a little bit standoffish with expressing those feelings, you know? So it's like, all right, on the surface they have all that love, but then when you actually try to get them to talk about it, they still might be a bit closed off. So that could be part of what could be causing that energy in you. But the future energy on their side, we have the Five of Chalices. And if we look at the artwork here, it definitely is a bit more of an apologetic type energy. So this could just be saying that now they actually are more open and they will be coming forward to express to you, you know, their feelings. Maybe they'll even tell you that, hey, I was being a bit weird in the past, but it was because I was still healing from a previous situation, you know, something along those lines there. This is Scorpio energy too. So obviously this could just be indicating that this will take place during Scorpio season. But yeah, definitely looks like they're going to be more open and expressive towards you and letting you know how they're feeling. And bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Six of Cups. So this usually is an energy that can point to a reconciliation type energy. So it's possible that the two of you have a history. And that could be what that's pointing to there as well with those trees, saying that this was a really long standing connection and maybe you guys moved on for a bit. Maybe they were in another connection for a while. And this could have been something that you guys were trying to rekindle at some point. But either way, this stuff looks like a positive energy for sure. We see the Four Cups on one side of the water and then the Two Cups on the other side. So that could be another indicator that you guys might have both gone your separate ways for a while, and maybe you weren't necessarily satisfied with the other love offers that were on the table during that time, and that could be what brings the two of you back together. All right, and bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Nine of Swords. So Nine of Swords is usually an energy of a lot of worry and anxiety, and with this artwork in particular, I always think of that old superstition about a black cat crossing your path. So it could just be saying that for this person, they might just feel like they always have bad luck when it comes to relationships, you know? So that could have been part of why they were holding back too. Um, and then that would, you know, for example, like I was saying with that Four of Pentacles energy, to me, that fire in the background represents that desire, right? The passionate desire. But then we see that struggle around communicating, around opening up with the Eight of Swords and the Three of Swords. So I feel like that's just what it was saying, that any blockages you might have felt from this person was just more or less they were still going through their own healing process, possibly because they went through a bad connection in the past, possibly even multiple bad connections. But yeah, that's what I see there. All right, so next we'll see if we get anything from the Oracle decks. First, we'll go with the Aqua Moonlight deck. I did pre-shuffle this deck, and I'm going to be looking for jumpers here. So I'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I don't get any jumpers, worst case, I'll just put the deck down and we'll pull a card for each side. But we'll see if we get anything. All right, nothing coming up there. So what I'll do is I'll put the deck down and just give you a few seconds to tune in and we'll pull a card. Okay. We'll go with that one there. And next we'll see if we get a jumper from their side for unspoken messages from them to you. Okay, got one there. Perfect. So let's see what we got on your side. All right, we have worry. There we go. Says, I'm not sure if this is a good idea. I'm overthinking everything. What will everyone else think? Interesting. I would definitely say this side for sure seemed to be in that energy of like overthinking everything. But for some of you, this definitely does make me think of what I mentioned early on, though, which was like I was saying, for some of you, this might have been someone that you worked with. And that might have been why you're a bit hesitant. Like, I don't know if I want to introduce that dynamic to the workplace, right? So, in that regard, that would definitely make sense. But I suppose for others of you too, if you guys did have a history, like I said, if you were together a long time ago and then you guys both moved on to different relationships and now you're possibly thinking about getting back together, that could also be why you might have been a bit hesitant. But hopefully that resonated with you. And then on their side, all right, we have selfish. It says, I love the way you make me feel, but I can't give you the same in return. All right, well, interesting there. For sure, that definitely seems to align with the past energy. Like I said, it looks like they were pretty closed off and hesitant. It looked like because they were healing from some situation from their past. Now, I will say, like I said, in the present, it looks like they're definitely more open and receptive. And then with that Five of Chalices in the future, it looks like they would come forward and possibly be more open and expressive to you. But I can see where that fits the spread as well. So hopefully that resonated. And lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. I pre-shuffled this deck as well, but here we're just looking for one card with general advice, and then we'll wrap up. All right, so nothing's coming up, so give me a second to put the deck down again, and just give me a few seconds to tune in and we'll pull a card. Okay, take this one. We have New Life. All right, and it won't focus. There we go. There's the artwork, and the number is 39. So let's see what that says. I think you guys might have gotten that for your general reading maybe last month or the month before, but see what it says. Okay, it says birth of new ideas, growth, opportunities, a breath of fresh air, life renewing itself. The Oracle's message. When spring awakens the world, joy and excitement can be felt all around and in your very core. Blossoms burst from trees overnight, birds return home and sing their glorious song, and nature is full of promise. Miracles beckon on all of us. This is one of those times in your life when new ideas inspire you and new opportunities bring you hope for seeing your dreams come true. All is well in your world, and you have the energy you need to feel renewed. Allow your heart to fill with enthusiasm. Let your light shine, for this is a time of good fortune. So definitely a pretty positive message there, and in a way that made me think of, like I was saying, how the trees look lifeless there in the past, and then of course at the bottom of the deck we have the Six of Cups that looks a lot more vibrant. So for some of you, it could just be pointing to that, where maybe there wasn't much life to the connection, but now it'll be moving in a more positive direction. The relationship message says new energy enters old relationships, and new relationships are bursting with sweetness and vibrancy only encountered when winter gives way to spring. This is a time to connect with others and share excitement, passion, and hearts full of joy. This card is a very auspicious sign with respect to love and partnerships in all forms. So yeah, pretty positive message there. Like I said, at the very least, it looks like this person was definitely closed off in the past, and in a way, it looks like you might have been holding back from expressing yourself as well. But it looks like as we move forward, they're definitely going to be opening up more. So hopefully it resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.